Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra.
We're ladies.
And we tangent.
What's up, everyone? Hello. That was such a weird way to start because you started it and I wasn't sure, and then so I tried to jump in and act like I didn't.
Do you want to do it again?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
It just, I know that I went, what's up, everyone?
What's going on?
I tried to just jump in on the letter where I figured out what we were doing.
I'm sorry. I
No,
thought you
that's
gave
okay.
me the look. And so
I
it was
did.
my
I
time to
kind of
go.
did. No,
Okay.
you're right.
Okay.
That's my bad.
Hey everyone. I'm not doing well.
Listen,
I just need everyone to know this off the bat.
I know we say that sometimes, quite frequently.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
But I've never seen her as not well as she is right now.
It's bad. So here's what's going on. I'm fine. Everything's fine. If I make little noises like that, it's because my body is being ripped apart on the inside.
Yes.
So here's what's happening. I'll just tell you all the story.
Stories of a chronic ill girly.
Bitch. My sister was just in the hospital for diverticulitis.
Huh.
What are the odds? It was so crazy. Well, when I went to visit her there, I started feeling weird stomach pains. And I was like, I'm not feeling good either. Maybe I'm getting sympathy pains. Look at me. I'm so in tune with your body and your emotions. And then those pains got worse. Now, what I know about myself, and I have known for about 10 years, is I have Crohn's disease. If you don't know what Crohn's disease is, it's an inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, which means that is an autoimmune disease, which means that my immune system attacks my GI tract. It attacks itself, causes inflammation, which is painful.
Causes ulcers.
Ulcers in my mouth I was getting. Jerry saw I had one on my tongue, you guys. You can still kind of see it.
Yeah, it was
huge.
I normally am like not a squeamish person, but she showed me and I was like, put that thing back where it came from or so help me.
So I said, oh, this is going to be bad because normally when I get the mouth ulcers, it's going to be a bad one. But that was the worst mouth ulcer I've ever had. And then I was also I didn't know you could get joint pain and joint issues and skin rashes. And remember, I was getting those skin rashes all over and hives all over.
Yeah.
I think it was all connected. So I haven't had a flare this bad in probably 10 years. And it all came to a head Wednesday night, I think. I was really not feeling good. And then this is TMI. So if you are squeamish, don't listen. But when I would go to the bathroom, buttholey, anally.
Yeah.
I could have just said when I would go poop.
You could have. You actually found a worse way
to say it.
I didn't know that there was a worse way to say it, but you found it.
Anyways, when I would go to do that, I would be pooping blood. So that's not good.
Yes.
I texted my sister who works in the emergency room and was also just there. So she knows a lot. And I was like, hey, this is probably not good. And she goes, I think you need to go be seen. And I said, okay, cool. Because I'm in pain. And I honestly agree.
As someone who deals with emergent situations, I would categorize this as emergent.
That's what she said. She said this, any kind of blood coming from that area is emergent when it's accompanied by that much pain.
Yeah.
I said, sounds good. I go. I'm there for like 6 hours. First thing they do when they get me back, morphine. I'm like, nice. Here's the problem. Barely touches the pain. That's scary.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't love this at all. But then they take me back and we do a CT scan. And I am sitting there waiting for my results because they won't let me eat. Because they also are like, we don't know if you have something impacted somewhere. We don't know if you might have to have surgery. So I can't eat or drink anything.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Maybe I should ask this after, but did they find your appendix?
I asked and he said he did not see it. Now, there was a lot of inflammation this time, way more than there ever has been. He was like, you lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, great. But there was none on there.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So, we do the CT scan. He comes in. He's like, well, here's the deal. You likely have, which, by the way, I didn't tell them I knew I had Crohn's. Here's the reason why. Because when I got diagnosed 10 years ago, the person who I was going to with my GI doctor is not a doctor around here anymore. They
Right.
moved like hours away.
Yeah.
Any doctor that takes my insurance around here needs a referral. And so I
Gotcha.
knew I needed a referral because I need to get a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to get a referral. So I'm not going to tell them so that they will refer me, because the
Yes.
other thing would be to leave here, go to a doctor, like a
Yes.
physician, and then get them to refer. It's
Yeah.
too many steps.
Yep.
I don't have
refer me here today, brother.
yeah, so he did. He was like, you definitely have inflammation. It's looking like ulcerative colitis or Crohn's. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. He's like, it's pretty inflamed in a lot of areas, but like was showing me specifically. Then he said, and I had to I said, you better write that on my discharge papers. I highlighted it. I sent it to Jerry. I sent it to Nicole. I sent it to Krista. I sent it to my mom. I sent it to all my friends. I said, no one is going to believe me. But he said, do you also have like inflammation around your pelvic region? And he goes, do you know what pelvic congestion syndrome is? I said, nope. Nope. He said, well, I think you also have that. So what? I just remembered what I last Googled. Don't worry about that.
It's definitely not what the street name is for meth.
Whoops. I just see crank pop up and I'm like, hello? So pelvic congestion syndrome, PCS, also known as pelvic venous insufficiency, is a chronic pain condition. Look at me, collecting chronic pain conditions like it's my mother freaking job. Chronic pain condition that affects the pelvic veins. It's thought to be caused by enlarged veins in the pelvic area that swell because of backwards blood flow, and then they will twist together. No. Ow.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm going to also get you send you a consultation of someone to see, because you can get surgery to fix that. Great news.
Good news.
So I was like, both of those things are happening simultaneously inside my body. I am not a bitch when it comes to pain. I have never been in this much pain.
Oh my God. People are going to bring up the whose pain tolerance is higher.
Girl.
Hey. I don't know.
I don't know.
I will defer to you.
Yeah, I'll tell you
because
right now.
I'll tell you right now, I don't want to find out.
No, this
I
is
don't
terrible.
want what you have.
Well, I will tell you, speaking of that, is that the doctor looked at me and he goes, after he saw my CT, he goes, did you drive yourself here? And I said, yeah. And he goes, how? And I was like, honestly, I just thought I was having poopy issues.
Every woman, it's all in me.
No, because I'm a badass bitch. I said, I drove myself to the hospital once when I was in labor. Okay, get over it.
Yeah.
I can do hard things.
Anything you can do, I can do bleeding or whatever.
That's just out of my ass. Dude.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what's going on with me right now. I'm really not feeling good. I'm really trying to listen to my body more, because obviously
it's getting loud.
It's getting so loud. It says, well, here's what my sister said. She's like, remember that thing in November? It was like, you need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I think it was probably because it's like, if not, they're going to make you go to the doctor. Your body's going to be like, you can't ignore us anymore. So I scheduled a colonoscopy.
We're going to put our thing down, twist it, and reverse it.
We're going to twist it right over your fucking uterus. It's going to hurt. So the veins that are twisted are on my fallopian tubes, my ovaries, my uterus.
Ow.
Ow, indeed. And here I thought it was my IUD. I was like, oh my God, I'm having pain because it's my IUD. Beauty is pain or whatever. Yeah. Turns out no.
Well, I got nervous because I saw something that was like, if you use Paragard, you could be, you could get like $200,000 in whatever reparations, because apparently the Paragard can break apart upon removal and can cause like serious damage, like infertility.
Oh my God.
So I guess it has to stay up there.
Forever. Until it disintegrates itself.
None of my business.
I just leave it there. That's fine.
Yeah. I've seen those pictures of babies come out holding them. Maybe that's the only way I get it out.
You just haven't pulled it out with it. Yeah. Dude, that's crazy. Ouch.
I know.
It's almost like they should take women's medical reproductive health more seriously. I don't know. If only we had people who cared about that.
If only
making rules of some kind.
Yeah, just trying to dismantle everything.
Yeah. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's not now, but it will be soon-ish. And so I got horror stories. I got Valentine stories. I got meet cutes. I got a little plethora of Valentine's goodies for us today.
Valentine's smorgasbord.
It is. It is.
A smorgasbord of love, if you will.
I'm excited about it. But again, I mean, hopefully these are good. I have been on Vicodin all week. Including when I was looking these up.
This is a downer and interesting. Well, no.
Oh, I didn't mean to just take it. I didn't even ask if anything was going on with you. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You do already know.
I do.
But
I do. Yeah.
My family dog, Joe, we put her down on Friday.
Yeah.
My mom and my sister and I were all in the room with her, and then we FaceTimed my sister Sam, who lives in Arkansas.
Oh, it's so hard.
And let me tell you about that bitch. You want to talk tough bitches, okay?
Who, Joe?
Yeah. They came in and...
She is a tough bitch.
If you aren't aware of, like, how they put animals down at the vet, they will give them a muscle relaxer that puts them to sleep
first. So.
And then they will give them an injection that stops their heart.
Yep.
And she gave her the muscle relaxer. She goes, it should be 5-10 minutes. She'll lay her head down and then we'll come and give her the second dose.
Wasn't, dude.
That woman came in 10 minutes later and Joe was sitting up like this.
No,
not today. And we were like, I don't know. So they had to give her a second dose of muscle relaxer.
Oh my God. She said, you're not taking me out.
And then she did finally put her head down and I was holding her head. So she licked my hand and then she went to sleep. And then they came in and I swear to God, I felt the moment.
Yep. I
felt it.
Went with Chance. Yeah.
It was so weird because, she had her stethoscope and she checked. Yeah. But I felt when it happened. And so I knew, but I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
But then, so the lady, they leave to give us a moment with Joe. And it's just me, Randy, and my mom sitting on the ground around Joe crying.
Yep.
Randy goes to hold her paw, which is right by her head.
Yeah.
Where I'm holding.
Yeah.
And her finger moves Joe's jowls into my hand. And I went, because I thought she was alive again. I was like, she's alive. I was like, Randy, your finger just scared the shit out of me. I thought she was
licked you from beyond.
That's what I thought happened.
Oh no.
And then I'm like, how long do I keep my hand here?
I know. I'm sorry that we're doing this. If anybody is like, I have to take a break from this conversation, please do. But sometimes these moments are funny. I'm sorry. Because it's just like when we went for Chance, me and my mom were bawling.
Yes.
And I didn't know that I would react that bad, but it is different when you're like seeing it happen. And Chance was honestly, they were like, if we don't do this now, he's going in the next couple hours. Like his organs were failing. And so
the vet walked in, looked at Joe and goes, she's ready.
Yeah. That's what same thing they said about Chance. So like he wasn't even standing on his own.
Yes.
So he was laying when we went in there and he just laid the entire time. And so we just cried and cried and cried. And then it's like that one moment where you're like, all right, so I guess we gotta go. It's just that awkward moment where you're like, time to hit the old dusted trail.
Like, well, bye, girl.
I know.
Yeah.
But it was really nice where we went because, they came in afterwards and they were like telling us what we could do with like if we could get his ashes. And they did like a dog print thing for us.
Yeah.
And stuff like
that's
that.
what they're going to do for her. But
it's also awkward for them because they have to be like, so who's paying? I think actually they did ours before.
I think they told us we could do it when we come back.
That's
to
nice.
Pick everything up.
Nice.
But it is one of them. It's horrifying. It's heartbreaking.
So
like
sad.
we had Joe since she was a puppy.
So did we.
My dog Tanner, we rescued him when he was like a year old, and then he passed away. And then
we were in high school when he passed away, right?
I was a sophomore, junior in college.
That's right.
Yeah, because I remember I came home and then I drove back to my house that I lived in with Erica and Jess, and I just like cried in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get my friends to come get drunk with me.
It's so sad because you're like, you don't see them that often when they're like your old family pets, but then it's also like they were there for
Yeah.
so much of your life.
Yes.
Like I remember at the time.
He was there from like when I was 7
Yes.
until I was 21.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's crazy because you're like, I thought I wouldn't care that much, and that's heartless, but I'm like, well, I don't see him every day. But then
Yeah.
I thought about him for fucking weeks.
Mhm.
I think after that, I'm like, this is the most I've ever thought about you, Chance, since I moved out of that
We
house.
were all
goddamn.
taking turns just like sending pictures of Joe. Like we ended up getting Joe. We got her the same year that my mom like was going
Mhm.
through cancer, and so when we
Yes.
got Joe, she had like a little breast cancer bandana on
Oh
her.
my God.
And she was terrified of car rides, and so whenever she was in the car with me, she would climb up and she would just lay across my neck.
Oh, I love when my
Um,
dogs now do that.
She I told my mom, I was like, just, for Joe, whenever the kids are jumping in the pool, I will run around and yell at them just like she did. And then I will take everyone's clothes and I will throw them under the deck just like she did.
She did. She absolutely did.
She was like one of those mean girls. If you took your clothes off to get in
she's
the pool,
hiding them.
She would take them and then she'd drag them under the deck and then you couldn't get them.
She did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
bless her.
Yeah. So that happened on Friday for me. So
I wish animals could live forever.
I know. Mosby's going to be 10 this year, and I
Dude.
looked it up, and that means that he's considered a senior dog. And I was like, that could kill me.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Mhm.
That's Winston's our oldest, and he's 7, and he's starting to really act older.
Uh-huh.
Like he's getting so
Like
bitchy.
he doesn't want to take anyone's shit.
He's so bitchy, dude, and I
You're
love it.
honestly a
But he
dick.
like reminds me of a very older, like flamboyant, bitchy gay man.
Yeah.
So he reminds me of.
He
I was
would
like,
be.
right.
Yes. Oh, I
He's
do
a
have.
diva.
I have updated Hazel news. I took her to the vet on Wednesday.
Yes, I was going to ask about that, but I was in the hospital. We were both
Yeah.
at the vet.
She is on seizure medication now.
Good.
And she also has Lyme disease. And so, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? So they're
Ticks are
both
bad in
on.
Ohio.
They're both on the antibiotics.
That's good.
And
Get your dogs vaccinated, people. I didn't
Yep.
know that was even a thing until
Mhm.
recently, that you can get your dogs vaccinated for Lyme disease. So
Yes, you can.
especially if you live somewhere where
somewhere where
there
Ticks are
are because we even in town,
mm-hmm.
I didn't get mine vaccinated for the longest time, and then they were like, I asked the vet
they'll
about
find
it.
you.
They were like, I said they just go in my backyard. I really don't take them
Mhm.
like hiking or anything like that. She's like, doesn't matter. They are bad in this
And,
town.
Well, when it's real, Brady's like, oh, once the first frost, it'll kill all the ticks, and she was like, not deer ticks.
No, they'll live on them.
Yes.
They're bad.
Yeah.
Ticks
so
are crazy. So yeah, please we just
being
always,
very proactive, but I told
we
the
always
vet
get
like
to
how
bugs.
many. I know. I told the vet how many seizures Hazel was having, and she's like, "You want to get her on medicine?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hazel's on medication now, and
Good.
she seems so much better.
That's
so
amazing.
so
Good.
much better.
Yeah, she was having a lot there for
Yeah.
a second.
She's like, she's been having more than one a month, and I'm like, she
Yeah.
had 4 last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sure did.
So-
Damn. Also, speaking of dog things, because we're talking about Winston and all the other dogs, I just thought this was funny because it reminded me of yesterday when I didn't feel good. So obviously, I've been walking like a 90-year-old woman, just kind of hunched over and not doing well. And so I've just been wearing like a robe or sweats and a t-shirt. I can't really
Be bothered. Yeah.
no. But I got up and I didn't shower. Today was the first day I showered since Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
I laid in the bath, but I didn't wash my hair or anything because I'm like, I just can't
Yeah.
stand for too long. Anyways, the other morning I got up. I go to my dresser. I get a new pair of boxer underwears. Okay. Put them on. Don't even think about it. Lean down to grab my clothes. Corey's like, your whole puss is out. Winston had chewed the crotch.
Oh
My underwear.
Crotchless boxers.
I washed them and folded and put them away and didn't notice the entire. And he's like, "You don't feel that? Your whole vagina."
And you're like, what are you gonna do about it?
What do you think of this? He's like,
Have
"Nothing
you ever
right now.
tried
You
this one?
decrepit woman, get in there and change your underwear."
Wow.
Yeah, it was really funny. That just reminded me of it because he hasn't done that in a long time either. And now I'm like, "Is this an elderly thing, Winston?
Yes.
What's happening with you? What are you going through a phase?"
I saw Birdie the other day.
Did you?
I
How's
did.
she doing?
She's good. She cried and she jumped into my arms and I just squeezed her. And then it was the same day that I had put Joe down. So it was like,
Jesus.
I know, it was a lot of emotions, but I was just feeling real sentimental. I was like, give me that. Give me that. What made me think of it is she used to eat the crotch out of everything.
Yeah, she did.
And then she also eats shit.
Yep. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Tell horror stories.
We are going to tell horror stories. I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
That's good.
My mouth is going to be really dry because that's what pain medicine does.
Yeah.
So if you hear me being dry, sorry. I'm going to let you decide what you want first.
Okay.
We got a not really host story, but it is a funny Valentine's one.
Okay.
We have a roommate host story, horror
They
story,
were
roommate
roommates.
horror story, a horror story, honeymoon edition, an ex-situationship situation. It's a scandal host story. This one's called Host Stories. Country Bumpkin gives a mediocre wiener. And then says, and I'm not going to tell you because that's the end of the story and you're going to want to hear that. Or there's a preferred Patreon host story meat cube. It's supposed to be meat cute. I think I like the meat cube.
I was going to go roommate and then you hit me with the mediocre wienering.
I know.
Maybe that's the order. Maybe it goes roommates, mediocre wienering, and then Patreon.
Okay.
And we'll see where we're at.
Where we can go with the rest.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is a horror. Oh, by the way, disclaimer if you don't watch us often. These are going to be (roar), okay? Horror. So they could be good, but they're ho-ish. So if you're somebody who's like, I don't want to hear a lot about sexual things, this might not be the one for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't yell at us.
And we're not judging people here.
No, we're not.
We're
not
listening.
At all.
We listen and we
don't judge. That's exactly
We've
right.
been doing that trend for years.
We have been, and we do it well. Also, if you do like these and you want more, we're going to be doing even more of these on our Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be recording that next. So patreon.com/ladiesandtangents. Come listen. Okay. What's funny to me about this one, this is from Lacey. Lacey wrote this in 2 days ago, 2 years ago.
Okay.
This is from 2023, February 7th, 2023.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's funny because it says, "Hey ladies, Lacey, she, her. I am literally writing this while listening to this week's episode because you said next week, Valentine's, would be a Host Stories episode. And because I have ADHD, I didn't want to forget again. And then it took us 2 years to get here.
We have
Apologies,
ADHD.
Lacey.
Yeah.
This is one of my only horror stories because unfortunately I am a serial monogamer." And it says, parentheses, "I feel like I've heard that term before, but might have just made it up. Who knows?" Anywho, while I was in high school, I dated the same boy the entire time, and it was my dad's ex-girlfriend's son, who I guess could have almost been my stepbrother, but that's a different story that I like to try to pretend never happened.
What's up, step bro?
So stepbro. Well, I was a year older than him, and I moved a few hours away for college and realized, hey, I kind of don't like this guy. Comfortability, am I right, ladies? So after like less than a week of moving away, I dumped him and was on the prowl. I went to a small private Baptist university in a small town in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Oh.
I really want to clarify that I only went there to play a college sport.
Okay.
LOL.
Noted
For sure. The type of school is important because the enrollment was less than my high school and everyone knew everyone there.
Yikes.
And there was not a lot to choose from, so everyone was a good option if you lowered your standards a little bit.
Hey, that's just
relatable.
That's just life.
Relatable. I was mingling, meeting a few guys here and there. I went on a date with a guy. Let's call him Chris. That's not his real name. No real names in this except for Lacey's. He was tall, dark, and handsome, so I thought, sure, why not? We went fishing. He got upset that I was catching more than him, and we barely talked that much. So safe to say, this wasn't going to go anywhere. Well, not too long after, probably days, his roommate slid into my DMs. This might sound, oh no, familiar. Just kidding.
Noted.
Relatable. We'll call the roommate Eli.
Okay.
Again, single, and the bar was on the ground. So I thought, sure, why not? Well, we went on a date, which was nice, but honestly, looking back, a bad idea because we went to this really secluded park like 45 minutes away. PSA, please do not do this.
Yes.
We both agreed that we enjoyed each other's company and decided to see where things would go. In good old private Christian school fashion, we quickly began frequently making out in my car in random parking lots off campus.
Hell yeah.
I probably should have known he was not interested in anything serious when I gave him a ride back to his hometown 3 hours away, and he asked me to stop at Subway, and when we went inside, he said we were separate orders. Dick.
How dare you? Not even if you
You're not even going to pay for my 6-inch, brother.
and not even like in a romantic way. How about the gas?
The fact that I'm driving you 3 hours away.
God damn.
Yeah. And sure enough, he didn't want anything serious. We never really went on another date. Making out in my car became the only thing we would do, and for hours. Red flag. That was in parentheses. If you see what
I don't know if I could make out for hours.
No, making out I start overthinking it, and after a while it gets really gross to me because I'm like, there's fluids and I'm a little grossed out.
I feel like
I can't kiss for hours anymore.
No, I gotta move it along.
Yeah,
we gotta go somewhere here or stop. Like
I'm leaving. I don't know.
I want to roll over or I want to fuck. There's no. I'm not kissing you for hours.
No. First of all, the beard rash. Anyways, I am like yucky.
The night that Brady kissed me, okay, his birthday.
Yep.
He told me, he was like, I thought I did something wrong because you stopped and then we just kind of like watched a movie, and I was like, well. What else did you want to do? And he was like, we could have kept kissing. And I was like, for what?
What are we, 12? Oh, no, not 12. What are we, 16?
No. Honestly, I fell asleep on him.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, brother.
That's more my style.
I would rather do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to bed.
I'd rather go to bed than ever kiss you
tonight.
For hours. He never let it get any further, which is fine, I guess. But after about 2 weeks of just French kissing and heavy petting, he decided he didn't want to go further relationship-wise with me, and he wanted to end things. This turned into one of those on again, off again.
Will they, won't they?
I know, it's a real Ross and Rachel for a couple more weeks. But again, we were never official. Mm-hmm. Well, I stopped talking to him for a while because I was tired of his BS, or so I tried to tell myself. And the original roommate, Chris, and I began to casually conversate again.
Oh, no.
Relatable. One drunken stupor, I asked Chris if he wanted to just be Funky Town buddies instead, since he was low-key boring.
Oh, my God.
I love this. He agreed, and that night we hooked up, folded the laundry all the way, if you know what I mean. And it says parentheses. And in my car again, private school probs. Not ashamed, but I don't think it's legal. So again, PSA, please don't do that. We did this a couple more times, and his hometown was near mine, so it continued throughout our holiday break. After the holidays, Eli hit me up again. He was sorry for leading me on or whatever, and I had yet to work on my self-esteem, so I, of course, ate that shit up. We went on a date to another secluded park, and then again, parentheses, it just says, sorry. And he poured his heart out to me and said he really wanted to officially date me this time. I agreed to see where things could go if we start over. On the ride back to campus, Eli starts telling me that Chris has been sneaking out of their dorm room late at night all semester, not saying where he was going, but that he was hooking up with some girl in her car. And I am not good at keeping secrets, so I told him that girl he was seeing was me.
Oh, hell.
He was so shocked he didn't say anything the entire rest of the ride.
Oh, no. You said it in the car.
In the car? How awkward. He dropped me off, and we literally never spoke again after that. I really am glad / don't care that it didn't work out, since I had wanted both roommates, LOL, because a few months later, I met the love of my life that I've been with now for 7 years. But if anyone learned anything from this, hopefully it is to be careful when messing around with roommates, because the one will find out about the other eventually. And also maybe don't have sex in your car. I don't know. Love you, ladies. Hope you enjoyed this story. Lacey.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Been there, Lacey. Been there.
Honestly, wait, me too. Yeah, you did. I was like, I don't have a roommate college story. They weren't in college, but they were
roommates.
Damn. Wow.
God, I just sent Sierra this reel the other day. I was like, this is the most college shit ever, because sometimes I feel like it's my responsibility to like give her college culture.
Immerse me into there a little bit. It is nice.
And it was
I feel included.
a group of people just trying to throw
a potato up onto a lamppost.
I don't know if you clicked on their profile. They did multiple fruits and vegetables.
Okay,
there was a lemon, there was a pickle.
Was like day 8 of potato trying.
Yes.
So they go out there and they do this often because it's a little bit spiky on the top of the lamppost.
And they just
try to throw fruit and vegetables over there and get it to stick.
It is a real morale booster.
It is.
And that's the stuff I miss about college.
A lot of people there cheering.
Yeah.
You don't miss the roommates thing as well?
No, there was one time, I think maybe I've told the story before, but the year that, my roommate situation happened, I was living in the oldest dorm on campus, and the fire alarm went off. And so all of us walked outside and we're all standing there and we couldn't figure out why it happened. And then this one kid who lived on our floor, there's always one white guy with a fro for some reason.
Yeah.
In college, and you're like, what are you doing? But this was ours. And he ran away from the building, 2 arms in the air, just down the way, and everyone clapped for him because he pulled the fire alarm. And we don't know why we were happy about it. We couldn't go back in the building.
No, it was like really annoying.
But we were happy that he escaped campus police.
That's fun. I get it. I do get it.
It's a real morale booster.
You need them.
Yeah.
All right, this is the country bumpkin.
Okay.
Hey ladies, my name is Madison. I'm 21 and you can use my name. This is a hoe story about how a cute fling from Tinder ruined the mood in almost record-breaking time. A common trait for men. A little context. At the time, I had just gotten out of a really horrible point in my life. I had moved across the country from Texas to Tennessee. And what better way to commemorate a fresh start than to have mediocre boys stroke my ego by giving me a good old wiener in.
Here.
Been there. I'd met this boy. Let's call him Cameron because that's exactly what his name is. I don't have any fucks to give on Tinder. I won't lie. Cameron was a very attractive man. He was pre-med, had a secure job, beautiful eyes, dark hair, hella tall. I'm talking probably about 6'3" and I'm 5'1". So he had a lot going for him looks wise. I'd been talking to Cameron for a little while, but after like the 3rd interaction, I could tell this boy only wanted me for one thing. But little did Cameron know, I wanted the same thing.
I only want you for that same thing, brother.
It says, I wanted to climb this fine man like a tree and have him call me Tarzan, if you know what I'm saying.
And I do.
I do too. So one night I was bored and thinking,
I like that you want him to call you Tarzan and not Jane.
Me too. I was thinking, I would like to get a little frisky with someone other than myself. And then it hit me. I knew Cameron would come crawling to me like a bee to honey. So I hit him up. And my suspicions were right. Cameron agreed to meet me at a dam. A dam?
A dam? I got fingered at a dam one time.
The one near us?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, wait, I think I know that story.
And I'm pretty sure that a Jason Derulo song was playing.
I think I know this exact story.
Romance, am I right?
There's nothing more romantic
than getting fingered at a dam to Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo. God damn, that's good. I can't wait to see Kendrick Lamar perform tonight, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of your story, Madison, but I just need to say that Corey was like, you guys going to watch Super Bowl with me? To me and Noah. And we're like, we're going to watch the halftime. Are you coming to watch the Kendrick show with us?
Yes.
We're there for the halftime show and that's it, brother. We are so excited.
Did you hear that Lil Wayne is back in the studio?
What?
And he's putting something out in June, I think.
What?
Yeah. Lil Wayne entered the chat.
My millennial body is ready. Is ready. If as soon as my bowels get it the fuck together, just know that my ass is going to be flailing about
oh my
all
God.
Summer.
As soon as I hear that
Wheezy F baby. Oh my God. Okay. So anyways, met at a dam. Now, this wasn't the smartest decision on my part because I had never met this man in person before. So going to a secluded place in the middle of the night, guys, we're learning a lot of lessons here. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Going to a
We're
secluded...
listening. We're not judging, but we are learning.
And we're doing better. So going to a secluded place in the middle of the night to meet a boy I've never met. Let's just say the schmecks better be good. Foreshadowing. It wasn't. Anyways, I go meet up with this boy, and thank God herself, he was exactly like his pictures. We talked for a little bit, then things started heating up. I don't know that I could do this. I feel like I could, but I just don't back in the day. But like meeting someone online, like a Tinder thing, and then going straight to like meeting up knowing that the objective is to hook up. I'm so fucking awkward. I could meet somebody at a club and like hang out with them and then maybe do a little take home situation.
Yeah.
Not now, obviously, back in the day, Sierra. Yeah. But to go there solely knowing you're both there for that reason.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be so fucking weird and I'd make it weird.
And I think because and remember, I'm not going to sit and make out with you for hours. No. And I definitely don't want to talk to you.
That's for sure.
If we're both here for one thing,
you better get to getting.
We better get to good, and then I'm gonna get gone.
That's so true. Okay, so
I want to go home and sleep.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
So I don't want to like do an interview process and be like, so now do we? You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the time that I went and helped somebody with their math homework. And then he kissed me and he goes, I'm going to take your pants off now. And I go, no, I'm going to leave.
I don't think you get to decide that for me. Thanks, brother. No. Yeah. We talked for a little bit and then things started heating up. We get into his car, which might I add was absolutely filthy. McDonald's trash with food all over the floor and other suspicious substances.
Don't get in my car after my kids have been in there for a month. It's brutal.
At this point, I'm thinking, Madison, do you really need dick this bad? And the answer was yes.
It always is.
It is. So we've already gone this far.
Yeah.
So we did the deed, which was mediocre at best. He had a very large penis. Some women would like that. Sorry. Some women would like that, but for me, it was too big. So it was very uncomfortable the whole time. But he was courteous and made sure I was okay. So great, right?
I wonder what she means by big. Do you mean long or you mean girthy? You mean a combo, the two?
Either way, I'm a fan of average at best. You know?
Yeah. I do.
Maybe a little above.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm a small girl. I can't.
I'm just a lady.
Just a lady. As you can see, my whole Virginia when I bend over.
Hey, she's dealing with a lot inside of her, okay? She doesn't need
I've had enough.
Fucking monster can in there.
I don't want it. Just realizing how much I just revealed about my husband. Well, he's perfect. Okay. Cinderella, the glass slipper fits. I'll tell you that. Anyways, okay.
Great.
That's what you need to know. After the most exhilarating 2 minutes of his life, he proceeds to finish. This man, Cameron, not my husband. I try to find my clothes in the dumpster fire of his car and then proceed to get dressed. I'm thinking, okay, that was all right. We'll talk for a little while and maybe I'll give him another chance. Well, not even a minute after we finish, this boy's face gets so serious. The kind of serious where you're about to tell your friend you ran over their cat. He looks at me and goes, I'm leaving the country. Bitch, huh? Like, damn, you could have just said I want to go home, but leaving the country.
What movie are we in right now?
I have to go. They're calling me to war.
They called my number.
It's my time, baby.
Going to Vietnam.
Call me flabbergasted because my flabs were gasted. I was like, all right, bro. And I just left. That happened almost 3 years ago. And
I'd be like, right now? You're going great. Are you going to miss a flight?
Like, what are we doing?
Is that
here,
why
then?
we were just 2 minutes and done? You on a schedule?
He's on a time. It's a time frame situation. I almost said time crank again. I got meth on the mind.
Old meth mind over here. Got crank on the brain.
The Vicodin's kicking in. Cameron hits me up almost every 3 months like clockwork, either via social media or by phone number that I thought I blocked with a howdy. Girl, I do not have time for your country bumpkin looking ass.
Howdy? Where are you?
Where are you Well, Texas or Tennessee, one of the two, right?
No, he's out of the country now.
Oh yeah, where'd he go?
I'm in Texas, Africa.
Texas, Africa. Although a little while after that, I met my now boyfriend of almost 3 years. That is such a wonderful man, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to marry him.
Aww.
I hope you enjoyed my host story, and if this gets read on the podcast, I think I would shit until there was no more shit to be shat. I love y'all. Keep being yourselves. That's enough. Much love. Madison from Tennessee.
Oh, thanks,
Good
Madison.
job, Madison. Nice wiener story.
Grade A wiener story, Madison. Top tier.
Really good wiener story.
Top tier story. Mid-tier wienering.
That's what I've always said. This is a preferred patron. So by the way, if you are on our Patreon, we should tell them about this again, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
So here's the deal, everybody. We have 4 now tiers for Patreon.
Yes.
If you go to our Patreon, we have a sad bitch tier, which is a $5 tier. You get 1 extra episode a month. And then you could do a fuckable bunny tier. That's $10. You get 2 extra episodes a month, plus a live with us for that month. And that's it, right?
I think so.
And then you could do either one of the geese tiers. So we have our first one is our goose pimp tier. That's a $25. And you get all of those things from the previous ones. Plus you get
1 piece of merch every 3 months.
and an extra live.
Yep.
And you can write in and be a preferred patron.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you do that, write it in the title,
Subject line.
preferred patron, and then make sure if the email does not match your email on Patreon that you put what email you have your Patreon linked to so that I can double check it.
Yep.
But just know this one is that. And so here we go. She got to skip the line a little bit. What's up, everyone? Hello. Pronouns are she, her. It's totally cool if you say my name. Oops. Says on Patreon. So I don't know if we're allowed to say it on this one. So maybe we'll bleep that out.
Gotcha.
I know this is one Sierra will love because this is a story about how me and my husband got together. 2023 brides. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so it's summer pre-panorama and I've gotten out of a toxic relationship. I was really taking time to work on myself and recover from all the BS. Obviously, I was feeling myself. I was a newly single girl looking great and life was looking bright again. Yow! That is in parentheses.
It's important.
Yes. Anywho, imagine my displeasure when I got back to work one Monday to find that a girl I work with has set me up with this, quote, really nice guy she knows. To be honest, I was pissed. Why would you want to bring a man into my hot girl summer?
What did I do to deserve
Why
that?
would you do this to me? But I friended this man who I now have a 4-month-old child with and kept it moving, saying, I'll friend him, but I'm not talking to him unless he talks to me. Long story short, he messaged me and we immediately fell head over heels for each other. Seriously, though, there was a point where we were so smitten with each other we couldn't eat. Disgusting. Just kidding. We always joked that meeting each other was like being in a rom-com. We went on our first date and things were going great. He's a hottie as well as the kindest man alive. So upon meeting him, I was like, okay, I'm 100% sleeping with him.
Say less.
Nice. Cut to the Halloween party thrown by the girl that had set us up. I'm dressed as BB-8. And then it says, I know y'all don't get Star Wars references, but someone in here will.
Okay.
And he's dressed as Donnie Darko. We have a blast. We're drinking and making out during the party, and it's clear that we're spending the night. So we go across the street to his best friend's house where we know we'll be, quote, sleeping. So we lock the door, turn out the lights, and immediately get down to business.
In your costumes?
I hope so. I don't remember the exact order of events, but at one point I was on top, got the spins, and fully fell off of him out of the bed and smacked my lip on the bedside table.
No. Oh, no.
It gets worse.
Oh, no.
This is also the story about how he told me he loved me for the first time. Mid-Funky Town, he grabs my arms, looks me in my eyes, and says, quote, my full God-given government name. I love you. I said it back like it was the Notebook. We both finish and we pass out. Probably 3 a.m. rolls around.
Fuck, I thought I was going to sneeze.
And then it made me burp. That was weird. 3 a.m. rolls around. He wakes up and he asks me if I want some water and says he'll go down and get us some. I hear him rummaging around and it's clear he can't find his undies in the pile of Halloween costumes. So he decides to sneak downstairs completely buck naked. I run over to the bathroom, also in the nude, to check on my fat lip. She was fine, just a little swollen, don't worry. And then I jump back in bed. I'm laying there looking at the ceiling when I hear this commotion from the stairs.
Oh, no.
My future husband has tripped on like the second stair and fell down every single remaining stair before landing at the bottom in the kitchen in a naked pile. He's fully naked.
Listen, I know you love that man because every bit of that story is an
Gave
ick.
me the ick.
Every
Just
bit.
an asshole over ankles falling down stairs. Absolutely not.
That's an Alanis Morissette song. That's all over ankles.
And I got one hand in your asshole, and the other one is falling down the stairs. I'm sorry. Well, I was contemplating how I would have to step over his dead body. I'm sorry. I was contemplating how I would have to step over his dead naked body in the morning. I love that you were like, I'm not going to check on him. I just know I'll probably see him dead there in the morning. He popped through the door with 2 glasses of water. What a champ. He's a keeper as well.
Nothing to see
Here you go. He's a keeper as well as a wonderful father, and I just cannot imagine life without him. I love y'all's podcast so much. It's the best thing I found during quarantine, and I keep y'all in my headphones so I don't have to be alone with my own thoughts. Love you, ladies. Keep doing all the awesome things you do.
Thank you for your story.
What a
That's
good
so
one.
good. Talk about a meat cube like that extended. An extended meat cube.
For real. Okay, I have 3 more. This is actually just going to be a funny one. It's not a hoe story. It is a Valentine's Day story. So a hard right turn.
Mosby's gonna be my Valentine.
What good boy.
He's a good boy. Because Brady hasn't asked me. Despite the numerous times that I've bullied him.
I said, Corey, are you getting me anything for Valentine's Day? And he goes, I always do, Sierra. You've never gotten me anything. And I was like, oh, shit, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm a piece of shit.
I literally
You're
was
right.
like, hey, we're in agreement that you don't get anything, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Great. Good.
You don't want anything? He's like, no, I don't want anything. Valentine's Day was for you. And I was like, all right, I just want to make sure that you knew that too.
Good to know.
Because I don't want to get you anything.
I didn't know. He just normally gets
His
me flowers.
birthday's 3 days later.
Yeah. He normally gets, and Corey doesn't go all out. I think he gets me flowers, and sometimes he'll do like some kind of, I don't know, something he thinks I'll like a
Like a chocolate.
something, or like a, I think he got me mom waters last year.
Well,
Mom waters and something else, some kind of like a bracelet thing, and like a,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't super expensive.
Yeah.
Anyways, about that right now. This is not really a hoe story, but a funny Valentine's one. This is the time my sister and I thought the best Valentine's gift to our mom would be our absence. She, her, you can use my name, but you don't tell me your name. So I'm going to assume it's the name that it says up here, which is Haley. So Haley, I'm just hoping that that's the correct one. Okay, so a little backstory. When me and my sister were younger, we would wake up at 6 a.m. for school. One Valentine's Day, when me and my sister were around 4 and 7 years old, we thought it would be a great idea to surprise our mom when she came to wake us up that morning. Not sure why we thought, hey, let's scare the shit out of her for Valentine's Day, but we did. I wake my sister up at 5 and we are planning our surprise. We spend that time finding the best hiding spots possible in our rooms. We figure out the best hiding place for my 4-year-old sister is in my closet, hidden between clothes and whatever else we can find. And I squeeze behind the closet door, pulling the door tight as I can so it looks like no one's behind there. Eventually, we hear footsteps, and we know it's none other than our stepdad coming to wake us up. Thank God they're divorced now. That man's a piece of shit. I hope he dies. Oh my God! I wasn't gonna say that part with it. I'm just reading.
Just reading.
We listen and we don't judge. He goes into my sister's room, and obviously she's not in there, so no panic initially because my sister would come randomly sleep in my room with me all the time.
Uh-huh.
He then comes into my room and he begins looking around. What kind of dipshit wouldn't look in the closet? And he doesn't find us. And then he goes and tells my mom. My mom runs to the back of the house where our rooms are and doesn't see us. And they are in my room. And then they're in my room, sitting on my bed. My mother is sobbing, crying, wondering where her children are. And me and my sister decide to stay in my closet for like 5 more minutes. It's really letting the mom
we
feel
fucking
it.
got her.
Got her. While my mom is just sobbing. And then I jump out of the closet, my sister after me, and we yell, Happy Valentine's Day. Kids are so fucking funny.
Oh my god, mom is hysterically sobbing.
And they're like, surprise.
We just wanted to remind you how much you love us.
By telling you
Today, the day of
we
love.
could be missing. My mom hugs us both and goes, don't ever do that again. I know this story is so fucked up and I do feel bad, but it's so funny and I think about it every year. Well, that's the story of how me and my sister scared the shit out of our mom on Valentine's Day. I love you ladies. You both know how to make someone laugh, cry, and realize they need to go to therapy all on the same episode.
What a skill.
A
Oh
good
my god,
story.
listen, I always, like in my old house, but even now in the new house, I will just decide that we're playing hide and seek without announcing it. I'll just disappear and hide.
Fun.
And then so now my kids do it too.
That's not fun
And
at
I'm
all.
like, oh fuck, methinks I created a monster.
This is not
I
a good
created
game.
this issue for myself. I did have to explain to Ollie that there are like appropriate times to play and not appropriate times to play
Well,
because
not when
like
you're in the store. Me and my sister used to do that to my mom.
or
It'd be
like
hide and seek time. We're in the fucking busy store.
he would hide like under a truck.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
no.
you can't
You
hide
can't do that.
like under a vehicle.
No.
Okay, like you have to like not do that.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Oh, that's so funny.
I think I was getting them ready for school and I couldn't find him. And I was yelling for him. And instead of coming out, he just knocks on the wall to give me a hint. Like, great. Like, oh, okay, so you're in my closet.
He's
Got it.
in the walls.
Oh no, it's Bruno.
I do this. All right, I'll do 2 more. This one says, my ex situationship turned cowboy bought me groceries.
Okay.
Hey ladies, my name is Sarah, she, her, and you can share my name. This might be long-winded because if there's one thing I can do, it's yap. And I hope it can make you giggle because it truly is my favorite plot point in my whole life. The year was 2022. I had just graduated high school and was dumped by a man I literally convinced myself I was going to marry. Needless to say, I decided it was time to hoe around a little, and I had a coworker with a name that rhymes with Dustin. I wonder what that could be. Probably Mustin.
Crusted.
Now keep in mind that I was a fresh baby 18 and this man was 28. But he told me he loved Jesus. And at the time, that was literally my only standard. When I asked if the age gap bothered him, he said no. And that should have been my first red flag.
Because Jesus doesn't
Care about age.
doesn't care about numbers.
He's fine. During the course of our 3-week-long situationship, this man got kicked out of his apartment, had a lawsuit filed against him by his roommates, still don't know what for, and walked out of our job, where my stepmom was our GM. In the end, none of those are actually the reason why I ended it. Not even because one night he said he was taking me out to dinner, and then he took me to Taco Bell and paid with $1 bills from the console of his car and referred to that as a savings account.
But he loves Jesus.
He loves Jesus. They're all the same, is what I'm hearing. No, the reason I ended it is because it sounded like he wanted something more official, and I felt bad because I still had feelings for my ex. I did find out later that he was sleeping with someone else the entire time, so that's a slay. Anyways, fast forward to a year and a half later, when I was a sophomore in college at Halloween. By this point, I had gotten back together with said high school ex, gotten engaged, and then dumped again. What can I say?
We've all been there, haven't we?
What can I say? I'm just a girl. We really have all been
Yeah,
there.
it's a canon event.
It really is. God damn it.
Classic. Get back with my high school ex and
Then get
have him
engaged.
propose.
Yep. Only for him to dump me again. Fuck.
yeah.
I was on my way to a party in my slutty little outfit when who of all people adds me on Snap but Dustin himself. As any bored, single, and wildly unsober person on Halloween would do, I added him back. He asked how I was, and I said, slay. And then I asked how he was. He then proceeded.
And he said, I don't know what that means.
I don't understand anything you're saying. You crazy kid. He then proceeded to go on a paragraphs long story about how he got arrested for assaulting his dad, moved to Chicago where he met an unhoused elderly woman who convinced him to reconnect with his grandparents, and now he lived with them in Houston as a cowboy.
Slay.
Slay bitch. The way that I would be drunk as fuck and be like, what did I do? What have I done here? When I woke up the next morning on my friend's floor, I reread the text and I blocked him once again. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago. I was at the gym.
Here's what I wonder. What could he have said to make you not want to block him?
I don't know.
Because all of that seems like he found Jesus again. Jesus was a cowboy.
Jesus was the cow all along. He's the cowboy. Anyways, fast forward to a couple of weeks ago. I was at the gym and I get a Venmo for $250 with the tagline equality. I used it to buy groceries, and when I told my mom about it, she responded, well, the Lord does always provide. That's definitely not the outlook I had, Sherry, but thank you. Nobody knows why he did that, but he
So
just
it was definitely from him?
It was from that guy. Yeah.
Equality.
I don't understand it at all. I'm now in a relationship with the sweetest golden retriever boyfriend I've ever met, who I'm bringing with me to your Austin show this weekend.
Oh, fun!
Oh my God, this was a whole year ago. Wow. Another weird layer to the story is when we started dating, I was doing the casual pre-relationship Insta stalk on him when I saw Dustin's little sister had liked some of his posts from 2 years earlier. When I asked if he knew her, he responded, yeah, she was my first girlfriend almost 2 years ago. So at the same time I was fucking her brother, she was dating my now boyfriend. And we still run into her at church stuff all the time.
Oh, no.
Anyways, I hope that's the end of this story. But every time I think it is, this man makes a new account of some kind to reappear. I love you guys so much. And I've been a fuckable bunny on Patreon for almost a year now. You guys have been there during both breakups and subsequent hoe phases. And I can't thank you enough for basically being the coolest big sisters.
Oh, my God. I think that's so fucking funny.
Good story.
Thank you for sending that in.
So good.
I hope that every time he contacts you, he's a different profession. Like he's Ken.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be assaulting my dad.
Next time he's just astronaut.
He
lives in Florida now, and he's going to space. He's gonna be the first man on Mars or whatever.
Oh God, I wish. All right, this one.
As long as he keeps sending you fucking grocery money, who gives a shit?
That's what I'm saying. Take it for what he's
equality.
Equality. To equality and beyond. Kidding, because he's an astronaut.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
This one's called Horror Story. Don't go ham for sausage or your clam might chowder. Are you ready?
Wow.
This is
what a title.
It is the title. Hey, you want me to read your stories? You give me a title like that, I'm sucked in immediately.
Don't say sucked in.
Oh,
gross. Don't say that.
All right, I'm sorry. Hey ladies, you can call me Cass. I've been a listener for a little over a year. Thank you for giving me something to relate to and helping me feel like I'm not the only adult in the room when I'm home 24/7 with my kids.
Ooh.
Love what you do. Keep it up. Also, I will just lose it if I hear this on the pod. Please enjoy my embarrassing, painful experience. This is a horror story without the hoe. This story, I'm going to take you.
Roar.
It's just roar.
It's just a roar story.
This story, well, there's definitely fucking involved. I'll tell you that. This story, I'm going to take you on a trip to my honeymoon after we had waited to have relations for marriage for 3 years.
Whoa.
You heard me correctly. We waited 3 years. Not that it's related to the story, but hubby and I were not virgins when we met, but we decided very early on that we would wait for each other. Some of that newly found Jesus stuff.
Oh my.
That's
hell.
intense.
Yeah, it is.
I can't imagine. So we date, we live together. You're living and sleeping in the same bed together. I actually couldn't imagine, but that's good for you guys. The willpower.
Yeah.
We get engaged and we finally get married. You can imagine after 3 years, my loins were just itching to get some of that good stuff. We get home from our wedding exhausted, of course, because we started the day super early and got home super late. First night was still a success. So they do it. Great. Pound it or whatever. I'm sure you did.
Yep.
And I'm excited to drive to our honeymoon vacation rental, obviously, because now that I'm finally getting some, I want more. We arrive at our vacation rental off season, and it was much cheaper than going on season, but there's definitely a reason for that. Because it was hurricane season.
Oh, no.
We got tropical storm trapped in our rental for 4 out of the 7 days we were there.
Oh, no.
Roads-
We're stuck inside. Nothing to do but each other.
Roads were flooded. No delivery services available.
Oh, hell.
Tours all... I know.
That's
You got to eat.
Yeah.
Tours all closed in the area, as well as all the fun activities we had planned basically got canceled. But we did not care. It was more time to spend messing up the beds and bumping uglies.
Hell yeah. Here.
Here.
You got 3 years worth to make up for.
That's what I'm saying. We packed a 42 jumbo box of condoms for this trip, and in 7 days managed to make it through half of the box.
Oh, my God.
We had an amazing time. So intense. So we head home on our 11-hour drive home because just like Sierra, I do not like flying. Also, so proud of you for facing your flight anxiety head on. Thank you so much. About halfway through this drive, I'm getting increasingly uncomfy below the belt. I felt like I had to pee urgently, burning, itching, the works. I ask my newlywed husband to stop at the rest station and we pull over. I get to the bathroom and drop trow as fast as I can. After I wipe, I notice I feel a little swollen. So what did I decide to do? Get out my phone and snap a picture of my eggplant landing zone.
Yep.
And when I look at the picture I just snapped, I audibly yelled, "Oh no!"
Oh, yes.
The lady in the stall next to me asked me if I'm okay.
No.
I lied and said, yeah, I'm fine because I'm not going to
It
tell.
looks like a balloon animal down here. No.
I'm not going to tell this faceless stranger that my entire labia is on fire and swollen beyond recognition.
No.
I suffered the rest of the drive home until we got close enough to our place to get some relief medication for my obviously infected front butt. And I had to come clean to my husband about what was going on. I run into the house with said medication, not even stopping to help him unload, and rip the box of sweet, sweet Monistat open. Now, put the egg in the silly plastic tampon egg syringe, and I hope it works quickly, and head out to the car to help him unload the car. While I'm helping him, I start to feel the fire of 1,000 suns moving from the inside to my outside, because sometimes if it's friction-y in there, Monistat hurts.
Owie.
A fire hose filled with ice cream couldn't cure the intense burn I'm feeling. So I drop what I'm doing and run a cold bath and frantically try to clean out this devil medicine from my lady bits. Getting the medication out did help, but I swear that stuff is made with battery acid. As I sit in the tub for the next hour.
They're like, your pH is
fucked.
acidic as fucking here.
Yeah.
Trying to balance this out.
For real. I researched non-acid cures for yeast infections and a UTI. I wasn't on my husband's insurance yet, so I didn't have a regular doctor. I found a solution that worked quickly within a week and got that sweet, sweet relief. By the way, it's frozen coconut oil suppositories with some essential oils. So the story has a happy ending.
Oh, good.
But I guess the moral of the story is, don't go so ham for the sausage if you haven't porked in 3 years because your clam will chowder. Love you, ladies. Cass.
The visual that gave me.
So good.
So you thinking about a seafood boil or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, guys, what wonderful stories. Thank you so much again. They were really the highlight reading those while I was laying on the couch having the worst time of my life.
Just
So please-
writhing in absolute pain.
Truly. So please send us more if you can. We would love them.
Yeah. We hope that you are spending this weekend with someone you love.
Yeah. Or someone you tolerate at the very least.
And you know what? That person can be you.
And it should be, probably. Also, I
Because
forgot.
nobody treats you like you do.
That's just true. I forgot to say, if you want to send the stories in, you do need to send them to That part's very important. The T is so important.
Yep.
landtstories@gmail.com. So please send us your stories.
Yes.
Treat yourselves good this weekend. Treat other people good if you run into them.
Treat your servers well.
Please treat your servers well. This is kind of hell holiday for them.
Yes.
But, they want to make it nice for you. So if there's a long wait, please don't take it out on them. It's not their fault.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love you so much. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.